500 medical students will not be getting their diploma at the end of the semester. The delay is due to the pressure tactics by Quebec's general practitioners and specialists who are refusing to teach medical students. Quebec's doctors and the government are at an impasse for several weeks with mediation, and students are worried about the months to come. Let's go to Ryan Kara now, Montreal Campus Executive President for the Medical Student Society of McGill University. Ryan, welcome to the program.
Hi, nice to meet you.
First things first, Ryan. Tell me about why you've picked medicine. Tell me about the career path you've chosen, and why you want to do what you want to do for a career.
Yeah, when I chose medicine, it was a big decision. Actually, I wasn't sure, but I've always wanted to become an astronaut, and I always knew that to become an astronaut, you also needed to want to also care for the people on your team. And this is where I discovered the idea of medicine, because a lot of astronauts are doctors, and this is where I discovered medicine. Doctors care for the people next to them, and I'm a huge team player, and medicine is, to me, the most team player and caring profession that I found. And so this is why I chose medicine, to be able to care for the people in a team setting.
So Ryan, listen, astronaut and doctor, those are some high aspirations. You must be a genius, and I love having people with lofty goals on the program. So Ryan, how do you view what's going on between the doctors and the Quebec government, and of course its impact on you and your fellow students?
Yeah, we find it really stressful. This is really also frustrating because as medical students, we not have a seat at these negotiations. We have the information at the same time as you. We hear it through the media. And this is the problem because at the moment, our cohort, the cohort of 2026, is going to be delayed, as you said, and they're not going to graduate on time for more than 50% of them. So essentially, it means that for 500 medical students in Quebec, well, because of negotiations that are not going well, there's not going to be any doctor in new doctors in July 2026. For them, for these people that are going to graduate late, this is the most stressful portion of it. Because you don't even know why you're going to be graduating late, because to us, these negotiations are the most simple thing to have. Either you remove the bill and have good negotiations, or you make major amendments, or basically find a solution for us to be able to work towards this goal that we've ever had.
These students, they're going to have their diplomas delayed. What is it like technically? What haven't they accomplished? Like, what does it even make sense for people at that stage, so close to the final goal, to refuse their diplomas right now?
Yeah, I'm going to give you an example. I'm a patient. I go to the doctor. I have an ear problem. But what if the doctor that is going to see me in July 2026, a new doctor who just graduated, comes to see me? I go to see him, in his office or in her office. And turns out that person never had the 2 weeks of ear, nose, and throat surgery. And therefore, that person never really got exposed to ear cases.
Wow.
Well, that means this person is not going to miss sort of quality of teaching. They're going to miss important information that they're never going to be able to see again, because our teaching is really, really dense in the sense that what we see in one day, we never see again. And sometimes clinical exposure is asymmetric in the sense that the reason why we have 2-week rotation to 4-week rotations is because this is the only time we're able to see this material. So missing 6 weeks is so much that it is almost impossible for medical schools to be able to guarantee medical students that they're going to be able to see the material on time to graduate. And this is why these students are going to be delayed, because it would be dangerous to have medical students that are not ready to provide care become doctors. And I think we can all agree with that. Our doctor needs to be also confident that they're able to give care. A doctor that doesn't feel confident is not a doctor ready to care. And so the goal is for a medical student to receive quality of teaching, but also for them to be confident. And this is why it's important for us to go back to school, because the more time we miss, the more delay we become. And it's to a point where it could become 2 cohorts at the same time. So essentially meaning that for the full year of 2026, no new doctors. So 1/5 of the doctor population missing in the hospitals. That means that when you go to the emergency, 1/5 of the doctors are not there. So you're going to have to wait even more. When you go to the family doctor, the doctor is missing his resident to see patients. So you're going to wait even more, et cetera, et cetera. And 2 years later, that's the same 50% is not going to graduate on time from family medicine. So that's approximately 50% of them. So that's less prise en charge, that's less patients seeing new doctors. Honestly, this is going to be heavy. And this is why, as students, it's even more frustrating because there's a huge impact on patients, a huge impact on future doctors. Mm-hmm. The impacts are great. And this is why we want these negotiations to go well for this to end.
It's patients, the population, they're going to be paying the price at the end of the day here. Now, I have to ask you, Ryan, for you and your fellow cohorts, right? For the other students, the people that you represent at the Medical Student Society of McGill, how do they view the prospects of practicing in Quebec? It seems that there's so much strife between the government and doctors, and difficulty over pay and salary and working conditions. How do you think, the next generation of doctors feels about working in Quebec?
Yeah, we actually ran a survey recently, and the numbers were really impressive. A lot of medical students, most medical students, the vast majority, at the moment is more inclined. They actually mentioned that they want to practice in Quebec. They want to practice in a Quebec that has a system that works with them and with the patient towards a common goal to have good care. But they do not want to work in a Quebec health system where the system doesn't work with them. And in that sense, this is why it's discouraging, because essentially medical students are already there at a point where they feel themselves that the system is not working for the patient and for the doctors. They feel like there is a disconnection already between the patient, doctors, and the government. And this is a problem.
Ryan, I do have to leave it there. I want to thank you so much for your time. Maybe we have an opportunity for you to come back on the show, because I think you're a great voice for the medical students there at McGill University. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Take care.
That's Ryan Cara. He's the Montreal Campus Executive President for the Medical Student Society of McGill University.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.